It's a time! It's package from China time. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video we are going to take a close look at the X16, the game handle. And I must say that these things are quite funny sometimes. When you're looking at the box, they did give me like a very nice box Adele. And I must say that there are a couple of different versions having different kind of colored joysticks. But I think the most funny thing what they put on the box is this particular thing saying the best X16. That's what we're going to find out in this video. Is this thing actually the best out there? Inside the box we're going to get the device itself, and I must say the form factor is completely different when you're looking at the previous X16 models. That came with also an, I think it was a 7-inch display. So they improved on minor things, and I can tell you these, let's say, bumps at the back will give you way better overall comfortability. I must say they absolutely improved that part. Most of the time they're just flat surface and it's absolutely horrible. I went for the two weird looking colored joysticks. Yeah, I must say that I think you can maybe just rip them out. So this is just something you can just interchangeable with something else. I think it's very cool, but the only downside is we do get two slider joysticks. And I can tell you those slider joysticks don't feel that really comfortable at all. It has some grip on top. The D-pad, I must say it does have quite a long travel, but you can just feel how freaking cheap it is, and that's what we're going to get with these, let's say, X series handhelds. Small ABXY, they don't feel really bad, but the same with the Nintendo Switch. I just hate these things. We're going to get a quite interesting configuration when it comes to the volume control, having a single button, menu, select, and the start. On top we're going to get the on and off switch, and yeah, this is something we did see before. The configuration that we're having two old school mini USBs. Yeah, seriously, mini USB. They should banish these things. Nevertheless, one for the joystick, another one going to be for data transfer and charging, an SD card, and the AV out. And when it comes to the AV out, there is a cable inside the box. Yeah, so when you're looking in here, we're going to get an old school AV out with a mini jack, or mini, I think it's also called the barrel jack connection. So we're going to also check it out, how does it actually work. And then we're going to get the on-off switch over here, turning it on, and whoa, you need to put a lot of force in it. Let's see if it's going to be powering on. Yep, there we go. So the display they're using is the cheap stuff that we have seen many times before. Let's shut down the lights, by the way. And the overall quality, in my opinion, is quite disappointing. So they're having the cheap non-IPS panels. I think this is more like the cheap, and it's going to be absolutely hell recording these things. Oh boy. But last but not least, we're going to get two shoulder buttons with a tiny paw on it. Okay, this will give you some extra grip. So in total, we're going to get 6 buttons for having the navigation into the games itself. So the first thing I already noticed, and that's an epic fail, they didn't put it on English. So we need to figure out how to get this freaking thing in English. Alright, so let's see. I think we've managed to do something in here. This is the AV out, and here we can change out the language. It's kind of interesting having two Asian languages, or is it one? No, one English language, and then we're going to get ourselves Espanol and English. Quite strange, to be honest. Alright, so press A, there we go. And we have some more information about the software itself. So this thing's product information, it just shows the size of the SD card, factory default. Here we need to switch between the AV out if you want to go into the LCD mode. It's going to be absolutely hell recording this, because this is a very flimsy front glass, and yeah, there is a screen protector or sort of piece of plastic on here, but when you can see that it doesn't even matter if I'm going to remove it, because it's going to be glossy. Oh boy. Then we're going to get ourselves the power settings, and here we're going to get close screen. This is basically like in standby mode, power saving where it automatically shuts down. That's it. That's the only thing that we're actually going to have with this product. What is convenient that they changed out the thumbnails. The thumbnails which you see over here, it's not interchangeable. What you see is what you get. The file gets corrupted. You have just a dead link that doesn't do anything. I must say that at overall performance, when it comes to the layout and the firmware, it's improved with the previous models. It reacts faster than all the other ones. So pressing the game, here we're going to get folders. And this is actually the compatibility that we're going to get. So with MAME, they just slapped different folders. For example, we have Capcom Systems 1 and 2, MAME, Game Boy, Classic, Advance and Color, Mega Drive, Neo Geo, NES, Super Famicom, and that's it. There is no PlayStation 1 support for this. Take consideration, even if they're going to be saying it doesn't run. I've tried it a zillion times on these things. They are not powerful enough. But when pressing in a list, here we go to get the game. It just gives you a couple of files. Choosing a game. It will boot up instantly, quite fast to be honest. And when you're going into the menu button over here, we can make a quick load and quick save. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to see is that we can actually try some games with the volume. There we go. The audio goes quite loud, but only comes from this tiny speaker at the back over here. So battery compartment can be removed. And here we're going to get ourselves the BL5C. This is a very common cheap battery they are using. Ha! Even like showing it over here, the NOK or Nokia battery. So this is the 2450 milliamp. Yeah, in total, how long will this give you game time? There is no information about it, but I think it's going to be in a couple of hours at minimum, depending how bright the screen is and all the other ones of the factors that has a negative effect on the battery itself. But out of the box, it seems to be working just fine. There's unfortunately no aspect ratio. And here you can see normally we have an aspect ratio option, but it's a very basic menu in my opinion. Both the joystick and analog stick seems to be working fine. But that's all it. So when it comes to the overall performance, let's get into the gameplay and let's see how that actually runs. One of the biggest disappointments if you're going to navigate through a huge list of files. Here we can see like it loads up so slowly, and even having a certain point that it's going to have like input delay through the D-pad. So in my opinion, it's not great at all, and navigating through this is absolutely a horrendous experience. There's no search functions for I have seen, so what you actually go to get with these things are absolutely horrible overall performance. Yeah. Searching a game, it's impossible to do that fast. But let's get into the emulation and see how it actually works. The audio, can tell you, it sounds pretty damn horrible when it comes to the quality. But where the D-pad feels pretty damn bad when it comes to the feel itself, it responds quite nice when it comes to games like Contra. But you can just hear from the audio part that it doesn't run that great. But the question remains, can you live with emulation performance like this? Okay, another system I wanted to check out is some arcade gaming, actually to see if this is going to be an enjoyable experience. I really know that trying to play Contra works just fine, but how is it with a game like Street Fighter? You can see that I need to do a lot of effort getting a move out, so the response of the D-pad is pretty damn bad. So in my opinion, it's going to be an overall better experience with the slider analog stick. But then we're having the problem that the overall emulation is so bad, I can just see the stuttering going on over here, where the audio is quite nice. Alright, so next up let's try some Neo Geo, where again we have a lot of struggles when it comes to the overall performance. In the FPS section we have some okay audio going on. Take consideration that I'm sometimes looking through my screen of my camera because the viewing angle of this thing is so freaking bad. Let's try the D-pad in this case. Well, this D-pad is actually pretty damn horrible for fighting games. When it comes to these shooting games, it works pretty damn well. But next up I wanted to check out some Game Boy Classic, and the reason why, because it's absolutely so much fun revisiting some of my old school favorite games, where I had a lot of issues with the audio itself. Yeah, beside the graphical stuff that looks kind of weird in my opinion, the audio itself is not bad at all, but I really hate this. Pressing You can hold if you want to, but that's absolutely even more an horrible experience to adjust the volume. What is so wrong having a scrolling wheel inside of it? This thing is absolutely a piece of crap when it comes to that. But let's try a Mega Drive game or Genesis for the US market. Yeah, when it comes to the overall performance, I say that I'm overall surprised by this. The sound effects are all here. No weird delays. There we go, high speed. Let's speed it up. Yeah, this plays quite nice. Ooh, package from China time. But let's get into the Super Nintendo. I must say, with the Super Nintendo, we do get an overall okay performance. Compared with the previous models I've checked out, they all had the same issues, stuttering, having slowdowns. The overall performance with this particular device is absolutely not bad at all. But when it comes to, let's say, different brands like Powkiddy or Embernick, they have so much better devices that are cheap and can actually play these things way better. And of course, when it comes to going back to the main menu, we have so many options in combination with aspect ratio. But we can of course do more than only play games. This is something they still keep doing. So they removed the shitty camera. That is a very good thing. But when you're looking at the overall performance of the game list and everything, it's absolutely to cry for. So here we're going to get ourselves the music list. And here we can add and listen to music through the device, the horrible speaker. Okay. I have no idea. Okay, that was some test music whatsoever. So we're having the photos. It's always the question, what did they put on here? I have no idea what's going on. Oh, there we go. And we can scroll through the pictures. And that's it. And I do wonder, let me know in the comments, are there people out there who are still using things like that? Because I am not using it. Overall, here we got some AV files that we can listen to, or listen and play. So it's also more like a multimedia player device that we can do all kinds of things, including reading an ebook. But that's it. That's basically what we can do when it comes to the overall performance and the games and etc. etc. But when the device has been plugged into your television, you do have the audio out on the television, no display. And that's the part I really hate about this thing. So here we can change it out to the TV by pressing a different kind of output. And it doesn't do this automatically, what a lot of devices are already doing. So in my opinion, that's quite disappointing. So first of all, the audio quality, it's way better than the speaker inside of this thing. But you can see the FPS of this game is horrendous. Stutters, and not even to forget the pixelated overall quality comes out of this freaking cable. We don't have this weird thing going on when we're touching the cable that it goes all ape shit over there. But I can tell you, the idea behind it is already old-fashioned now. It's kind of cool that we can just plug this thing into your television. There is no second controller, but if you can manage to find one, you can plug it in. Take consideration also that's going to be a freaking nightmare, because there is always something that doesn't fit or doesn't work or cannot be configured. It's just one huge mess. So the first thing that I'm going to do now is walk in with my dynamite and blow something up. There we go. Here we go. Got a present for you. But also here we can adjust the volume with this horrible freaking button. I hate that so much. But the downside is, if you're going to plug it out, you have no display whatsoever. So what you need to do is turn this thing on and off, or just plug it in back a couple of times. It seems to be working now, but it doesn't work the other way around. So, you know, why? Why? But one thing we don't need to forget is the toilet paper manual. Yeah, so there's not a lot of information in these things, and in my opinion, sometimes they're even pointless. So, but it's kind of cool that they're giving you an overview, yeah, what you can actually do with all of the buttons. So, if you have no idea, yeah, so that's it. There's nothing else. That's the reason why I call these things toilet paper manuals. There's no information, specifications, whatever, yeah, troubleshooting. What does it say? Troubleshooting. Flicker or distortion in image, turn off the play and restart and press hold the select key. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's rip and tear, and let's do a teardown just to see what we're going to get. So first of all, turn it off and remove your battery. By the way, if you're not going to use it, remove your battery, put it back in the box safely. Because if you're going to leave it in, it's highly possible you're going to be destroying it. It happens a lot with old school PlayStation portables too. But okay, you can just replace them with a new Bale 5C battery, but again, it would be a waste of money, even it's a couple of euros or dollars you need to pay for a new one. So overall quality when it comes to the flimsy plastic they're using, it's absolutely the same shenanigans that we have seen many times before in previous reviews. So we can just open it up most of the time like this, quite easy. We need some prior tools, or we don't need to. No, we don't need to. So one of the things they did remove is of course the crappy camera array mentioned before. These things can be like assembled very easily. There's no way of upgrading to a second speaker. With previous models we had two holes basically, only adding one speaker. Just keep doing this. It's a little bit of a bummer because the real stereo effect will be gone. They're just using one huge PCB now, no separate compartments, so it's easier I think to produce. But take consideration, so when you're looking at this, if something breaks down, for example the joysticks, you need to resolder everything. And oh boy, the soldering quality, it almost looks that they didn't even use enough soldering. But yeah, that can be me. But this is what we're going to get inside of the device itself. Nothing very special. And I think that is the reason why I'm just stopping with this teardown now. Let's put it back together. And let's talk about what I think really of it. At this point, I'm thinking, do we really need a device like this? In my opinion, not really. There are so many brands out there that make so much better quality handhelds with so many better features. The TV out that doesn't work that great like plug and play. D-pad is okay, but an analog sticks, I don't like these things. Two tiny buttons, and of course the overall emulation performance is pretty damn bad. I want to thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family. It would be great to see you in the next video.